Hello, hello, hello. It's another day, it's another week. What did you do today? Did you go out in the park? These days there isn't much to do, so that's why I keep asking you. I don't want you to stay in the house. I want you to enjoy yourself, do whatever you have to do, go outside, get some sunshine, get some fresh air, do something. So today we're going to talk about leaky gut syndrome. Leaky gut syndrome. This is where your gut is leaking, like toxins and bacteria are leaking. They are leaking out of the digestive system and they are getting into the bloodstream. I'm not exactly sure that how this works, but I do know that most people who have this syndrome, they get very, very sick and they can't quite pinpoint on what the problem is. They do have a lot of digestive issues. The other way that people describe this condition is increased intestinal permeability, where bacteria and toxins are able to leave the digestive system and get into the bloodstream. So most of the time, people will tell you it's not your fault. You didn't do anything to cause this. Other times they will tell you, oh, it's because you are eating this food. You're eating tomatoes. Tomatoes is a bad food. Get it out of your refrigerator. Throw it away. Don't eat nightshade vegetables. All kinds of stories. So they blame the food. Other things that people experience with this condition. And by the way, if you ever hear anything that's called a syndrome, they call it a syndrome because it has like different signs and symptoms. And most of the time, they call it a syndrome because they don't know what causes it. Okay? So there you go. So some of the signs and symptoms that people experience: chronic diarrhea, chronic constipation, bloating, like feeling like your stomach is full, gassy, that kind of thing. People also experience a poor immune system, excessive fatigue. Seems like the last few weeks we've been talking about fatigue a lot. People experience skin rashes, acne, eczema, rosacea, and they also have just poor health. So those are some of the things that people experience. And because it comes with a digestive issue, if you eat certain foods, you feel more sicker. So that's why people tend to blame the food. But actually, this is not a food issue. A few other signs and symptoms that people experience is joint pain, almost like arthritis kind of pain. So they will have and brain fog and headaches and poor memory and all that. So some people may also experience trouble falling asleep. They also have just fatigue and their skin also darkens. Like their skin color darkens. They don't have that luminous kind of glow that people normally have when they're feeling healthy and they're doing well. So like I said, most times they'll blame the food and they'll say, okay, throw this food out, throw this food out. And that might make you feel good for a little while, like maybe a few months, maybe to a year. But because you never dealt with the problem, this problem will still be there and it will go on to attack something else. Or you might find out that you can't eat any food anymore. So you start throwing out food, you start eliminating food from your diet, and you might end up with one type of food that you can eat. Who wants to live like that? A limited diet. Nobody wants to live like that. That's why it's important and it's imperative to get to the root cause of the problem. So a leaky gut syndrome, in short, this is not a nutritional problem. It's actually a mental health problem. There is something that's going on in your life which causes inflammation. It causes your brain to overwork, get tired, and it start producing stress chemicals. And we kind of get back to the stress chemicals, which is your epinephrine, norepinephrine, your cortisol, and especially cortisol. When you start having too much cortisol, it circulates in your blood and it's very, very poisonous to everything that it comes across. So it's like, I tell people it's like having sulfuric acid running down your veins. So you can imagine, it's very, very irritating to many things, and especially the digestive tract. So our school is coming to town. Total Health Academy is coming to town, and we're going to be diving deep to get to the root cause of some of these problems. And I promise you, this will save you, some of you, it will save you a lot of money. Because people who deal with these kind of conditions, they end up with such a weakened immune system. And I'm telling you this from something I witnessed with a friend of mine. This happened like so many years ago. My friend, I noticed she had some kind of eczema right here on the neck. And I talked to her. I don't remember where we were. I just noticed she had a rash on her neck. So I asked her, I said, what happened to your neck? And she says, well, I'm allergic to milk. So she thought everything she was doing, she was allergic to milk. And she eliminated milk out of her diet. So I saw her again. The problem had not resolved. And I was like, we need to talk about this. Well, she never allowed us to sit down and talk about it. She says, well, you know, there's so many, like, they use milk in so many products that it's very hard to eliminate milk from your diet. Well, a few years later, the lady was diagnosed with cancer. So I don't want that to happen to you. The reason why I'm talking about this problem, the leaky gut syndrome, is because if you don't get to the root cause of it, it's going to go on to cause other bigger problems. So it is best, food is not the issue. We know this because all food is good for you. God made it like that. And when you eat food, it just goes to your stomach. Your stomach, by the way, is very smart. If you eat something your stomach doesn't like, it just passes through. It goes in, it gets out. It doesn't go to the bloodstream. Your stomach will never absorb something it doesn't need unless things are not working properly. So when everything is in balance, your body is going to work well. And you don't have to eliminate food to feel better. So what I can leave you with is that you can either inbox me if you can't wait until my school comes to town, Total Health Academy, where we're going to be diving deep to get to the root cause of these problems before they have a chance to cause even bigger and more difficult problems to deal with. Something like cancer. Nobody wants that. So we can stop that before it happens. That's what we call cancer prevention. Thank you, and God bless you.